was really we learned that we worked well together when we had to go through that training. And it's like, okay, what's the best way to go through these videos? And so like we divided and conquered. And then it was like, can I call you on the phone? Like we were doing everything over instant messenger. It's like, can I call you on the phone? And like, so that's really when we started to develop a relationship. Like the big key was, first we said yes to something that was scary and got involved in this mastermind that we didn't really know. And a lot of you found people through that carving coaches training. A lot of you said yes to being involved in this crazy new wave thing. And you're seeing a lot of people, and I already am seeing people within that community connecting. And that's kind of what happened. Like, I love Andy and Yuriko, and I get so much from them. But as far as who I resonated with and how like my brain works and how I operated, like it was like redonkulous with Christine. So anyway, that totally was way a lot of information. But that's how we actually connected. So Christine, were we in the same place in our business?
Well, we actually were.
That's a big question.
I mean, rank wise, yes. Right? I mean,
Sort of.
At the time, I was a lifetime diamond, paid emerald. And she was a paid emerald, really close to diamond. So now she's a lifetime diamond, and I'm a paid emerald, who's one ruby coach away from diamond again to get it back. So that's where we are. So we are really close to the same spot in our business. That doesn't necessarily have to be the case for you. But what I think is important is if you, we kind of talked about this, if you are talking to someone who's like, let's say you're working with a 5-star diamond and you're an emerald, what will end up happening is more of a mentorship, and we'll talk a little bit more about how that can be important later. So I think you don't have to be in the exact same place, but I do think you need to be close to the same place so that you can grow and develop together and build one another up so that you're both getting something out of it, rather than if you're looking for a mentor, that's different, right? That's different than a success partner. A success partner is someone you both are going to get value and give value to and from. So that was a really good question. You guys had great questions. Dawn, do you want to add to the next one?
Yes. We don't live in the same area. Those of you that followed us know that I got a wild hair up my rear end and ended up flying out to Wyoming. I'm in South Carolina, and I was like, I need to meet this girl in person, which was really weird and bizarre. But no, we totally don't live in the same area. We do live in different time zones, and that's something that you do as you're looking for a success partner. You really are going to want to look at schedules, like time zones aren't as big a deal for Christine and I because we both work from home. I happen to not have children. My schedule is really flexible, but for some of you, especially if you're working in the professional world and you have families, if you're on like opposite coasts with the person that you're trying to work with, scheduling might be challenging. So one of the things that you want to definitely make sure that you're looking at is the kind of schedule that you have in working with the person you're trying to. I know like there are times when I'm getting up in the morning to start my workout and I'm posting like dumb pictures, and Yuriko is responding because like she goes to bed late and I get up early and she's in California and I'm in South. So, I mean, that is something that you want to consider. So we don't live near each other. But like with technology, who needs to anymore? But yeah, so that's something you definitely want to consider. Christine already addressed the were we friends first? For us, like we said, we developed a friendship through this whole kind of getting to know each other process. I don't know that I don't want to say that you can just yeah. Can I speak? I think it's important to develop a relationship with the person that you're going to work with. Like, do you have to already be friends? No, I don't think you necessarily have to be friends, but I do definitely think you want to start to develop a relationship and talk to that person. And I see a lot of those relationships happening naturally. Like our relationship happened naturally. And then we grew into because we were already doing a lot of these things. It's like, hey, we should be success partners. Like, let's label this and let's do something with it. So as far as, which came first with us, we became friends first, but I think that you do want to develop some sort of relationship with the person that you're going to be working with. And we've got a little more information on that'll come shortly. But did you have to add to that, Christine?
No, but one of the questions that came right after, do you live in the same area, was how do you make it work? And we talk about that in the freemium too, but it's communication. So it's not just, so like, yeah, if you don't live in the same area, how do you make it work? Well, we do it with Zoom, with phone calls, with Messenger. And if you guys listen to the Julie Boris talk, when she talks about how her and Danielle and the Tony work as success partners, it's very much the same thing. It's multiple facets of communication, like consistently throughout the day. We're not married, but it's like that kind of relationship. We have to constantly make sure that we're in the same place, that we're doing what we need to be doing. It's nice to have someone check up on you. Like, did you follow up with that person? Maybe. Like, it's good to have that. And so that's how we make it work. And you want to find someone, again, and we share this in the freemium, who kind of has the same communication style as you. If you are someone who needs to talk a lot all day long about something, and you have picked someone who doesn't want to talk all day long, who really only wants to talk a couple times a week, that's not going to work. You're going to overwhelm them, and you're not going to get enough out of it. So that's something, when you're in the process of deciding whether or not you could be a success partner with someone, see if they want to talk as much or way more than you. Kind of get that figured out. So
yeah, and that was one of the things Julie Voorhees she's done a couple different team calls with various teams, and I can't remember which one I watched. But she talked about where she had success partners in the past, and Julie's somebody that wants that constant communication. Like, she wants a response. Like, even if it's not a, hey, this is the answer to your question, but it's, hey, I got your question. Later on tonight, I'm going to get back to you. So that was, for her, she needed that, where the person that she was trying to work with, just wanted to communicate once a week. And you need to see what works best for you. Like, you might be the person that doesn't want constant communication. It doesn't necessarily work best for you. So that's okay. You just want to make sure that whoever, like, dude, if you don't like constant communication, you do not want to work with me. Because Christine gets messages that they start at 4:30 usually in the morning.
This morning's was 3:30, sister. 3:30 in the morning, my time.
Her time. So they start early. I know that she doesn't look at them and answer them right away. But because that's where my brain's going. But I know once she's up, she'll take a look. So yeah, if you don't like constant communication, make sure that you're looking for a partner that has that similar style to you. A really, really, really important question that was asked, and a lot of people ask, is, are we on the same team? And how many of you are you looking for success partners? And you're like, should I do somebody on my team? Nod. So I know you're listening. Yeah. I personally, I like not being on the same team. Now, ultimately, because, you've got these national levels and kind of we're almost all connected in some way. I would say minimally, you don't want to be in the same downline. What's really nice, a really nice way to go, is when you are on different teams, because you're both going to be able to bring in different information, because teams put out different information. So it's nice to have additional information to bring in. Like, we have the same grandparent team or whatever. We're in the same national upline. But the reason you don't want to fall in the same downline is the relationship's going to be imbalanced. It wouldn't really be good for Christine and Andy to be success partners, because Andy's business directly affects Christine's bottom line. If Andy produces, Christine makes more money because they're in the same downline. So it's just going to create an unequal balance, even if it's not intention. So
everything we do feels genuine.
Yeah.
And everything we do is genuine. I genuinely care about Dawn's business, and she genuinely cares about mine. And in no way are we financially impacted by that care. When I first started, it was just my coach and I, and she's amazing. But it was kind of her and I became success partners. And it wasn't that it wasn't genuine, but it was good for her if I did well. And so she almost felt like she had to apologize when she would put someone on the leg that wasn't under me. And that's weird. You don't need to apologize for that. So that's why, another reason why it's good to work outside your team, because you're going to be within your team anyway, but that success partnership can be better if it's somebody else, and you have more information that way. And it's just so much more genuine. I just know she cares because she cares, not because she's going to make a buck off my buck.
And even if you don't intend for it to get weird, It's going to, because it's human and we're human, and you're, and then you also don't want to only feed, let's say you're the sponsor or it's somebody that falls underneath you. You're going to be putting more time and effort into one coach, and you don't want to be neglecting your other coaches. So one of the things that's worked really well for us, and it's something that kind of was asked, is if we're in the same place in our business. And a lot of people really struggle because they're just starting in their business, and we're suggesting, hey, you kind of want somebody that's in a similar place as you. And it's like, well, but if we're both kind of starting, isn't it the blind leading the blind? And I think probably a lot of you on this call my guess is you're probably feeling that way, being on this call, because you want to listen to what we have to say. And we're like, well, we don't know stuff. But what we ended up doing was we got to a point working together that we all of a sudden said, okay, this is as far as we know. Like, this is what we know to now do. But what's our next step? Like, we know the vital behaviors. We finally are implementing them, because we knew them. We knew what to do. We just weren't doing it. So we got there. We both have a bunch of people in our downlines that we're not doing enough with, but we didn't know what the next step was. We didn't know how to make money, like legitimate money. And so we actually went and got a mentor, which is something that I would totally recommend. Like, not this minute, but don't stress out about who your success partner is, as far as whether if one of you knows more, and you're working on your goals. But then when you feel like you need more information and you need more direction, then together, like, it's cool to get a mentor. And for us, our mentor we fall like down the chain somehow towards our mentor. So ultimately, like, she will benefit from us doing well, which in a mentor relationship, I don't think is a terrible idea. One, you want to make sure that it's worthwhile to the mentor. I mean, but we've set it up so that, we come to her with very specific questions. We set it up so, she's somebody that's working her business and crushing it. So we don't want to take up, so much time from her. So we want to make sure that it's effective time. What is Kelly showing us? Oh, get a mentor. Sorry. Okay. But one of the things that that's really helpful for us is it's starting to push us forward in our business, where we kind of got stuck. So it's somebody else that we can say, hey, these are the goals that we set. Are they realistic to what we want to do? Because our mentor's been there. Our mentor knows, like, is this a realistic goal for the time frame we're looking at? So it's just somebody else that we can run stuff past. So don't stress out if you're newer in the business and your success partner is newer in the business, is really what I wanted to say, but I get myself distracted.
Sorry, I was answering questions. I was being like Eureka. Yes. So she, like Dawn said, she does benefit. She is in our business. We found her through New Wave. We found her because she reached out to me when I became Diamond. And by the time Dawn was Diamond, she knew her. You guys all have Star Diamonds in your Coach Online office or in your regional team. But that doesn't have to be your mentor. That's just a good place to look, because then they do benefit. The next really good question that you guys asked was, are you looking for someone like you or someone with different skill sets? And it's funny, because while Dawn and I are very much alike, our skill sets are quite offset. So I'm not as much of a big dreamer as Andy and Eureka, but I get really excited about something. And so I just want to go and tackle it right away. And I get ramped up and I overwhelm myself, and I have a hard time breaking things down into actionable steps. Dawn's step chick. Dawn is like, if you need a project done, call Dawn, because she's OCD, like charts, crafts, like whatever template chick. So we're really good. So she'll call me and I'll be like, and she's like, okay, and now we have a plan. And then also, because I come up like a week later, I'll be like this. I don't want to do it anymore, and I'm tired, and it's not fun, and everybody says no, and I have crickets. And Dawn's like, dude. She's just, dude. So it's good to have someone like that. We shared in our freemium some personality types and traits that you might fall into and how they can kind of offset one another, but you definitely don't want like 2 type B people who are like me and no type A. You need a little type A to your type B, if that makes sense. And she's the type A to my type BC, I think I am, if you check out the freemium. Dawn, do you have anything to add to that?
We'll talk about it a little bit more, but one of the ways that we came about and figured out that we had these different working styles and different kind of working relationships that meshed well was we did a project together. And it was a project that was thrown at us, like, but when it came down to it, I called Christine and was like, this carving coaches thing needs to get done. Like, will you help me? Because I need help. Like, somebody has to do it. And so that's where we figured out that we could work well together. And that's where she says I do charts and things. I don't. But if I don't break it down in like an orderly way that's going to make sense, I get overwhelmed because I totally am somebody that am trying to get better at, but I'll go into a project and then partway through say, oh, this is not working right. Like, we need to fix this. Were any of you in that 100 no challenge that we did way back? That 100 no challenge that we were like, we're going to kick people out if they don't send their stuff. And then I'm like, how do I kick out 400 people? This is bad. This was not well thought out. This was bad. That's where it's really, it was horrible. That was a second project that we did together that was not so smart. But one of the things that's really, really good is to have that success partner is somebody not only that's going to be helping you figure out goals. Like, yes, we did projects together, but once you figure out that you can work well together, we are then able to throw things back and forth at each other where we'll get to it where you ask about groups together. But when we do stuff separate from each other, it's nice to say, Christine, I'm thinking about doing this with my team. Like, does this make sense? Or I want to do this. Like, it's somebody else that can step back and look at it and try to help you walk through the steps before you put in like time and effort and then have to backtrack and waste. Because a lot of you out there like are working other jobs and doing other things. Some of you are on this call from work. We don't all have just all the time in the world to be doing crazy things. So it's nice to have that person that, especially when they have a different skill set than you. Like, when I'm in a rut, it's like, how do we do this? And then Christine will like spin the words just right or have just the right idea that spurs it on to something bigger and better. And so it's very cool. We want to jump into then next, because I sort of highlighted like, one of the questions was, do we run groups together? Do you want to answer that, Christine, or do you want me to keep going?
Answer that one.
We did start, I guess the first group we did was the first spiritual fitness one, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
So the
first
100
no's technically.
Oh, yep, 100 no's. Darn 100 no's.
All of you who were in it, we love you very much, and we learned a lot with that group, so thank you. That was a blessing.
But we learned a lot of things that we did wrong, and we did a lot of processing. So we did that group together, and one of the things with that group was really cool was we fell into a natural flow. Like, I did the images, and I would shoot her images. Christine, those of you that don't know, like, she's gifted in writing and language. So she can just write posts that get you to act and get you to feel and are very inspiring. So it just felt really good. Like, I said, okay, here's a quote and here's a picture that's pretty. And I don't make pretty pictures, but they were pretty enough. And then she took them, and she likes to make them look nice on paper. I mean, like, I sent her something that looks like this. I'm like, it's got bullets, and she'll make it look pretty and fancy. And so she was really good with that. And so we were able to fall into that natural flow, and we were able to say, like, okay, let's schedule these out. Boom, 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 boom. So it flowed very well. Then as you're picking your partner, and it's not listed on here, but it's going to be listed on your freemium, one of the really important things to be looking at is your vision, your cores, and your beliefs. And so that's how we started a spiritual fitness group that's now in its, hopefully this is the one that we're going to keep. But we just started one together because that's a core belief of ours and something that we felt strongly about, which was also another project that we could do. So as you're looking for people, I don't necessarily recommend as a trial with a potential success partner running like a challenge group together, but maybe like a 5-day clean eating if that's something that's important to you. Or if you've got something separate, like we do our spiritual fitness group or whatever it is, something that you can do that's maybe 5 to 7 days that you can then try to see how you work together and bounce off each other. We've since done a couple other groups together. We did do a big challenge group together because some of you followed our ridiculous dancing antics. And we ended up with a little bit of a following. And so it was like, wait a minute, we should probably do something with this. Let's put a group together because your friends now know who I am. My friends now know who you are. They kind of might like it. So we did do a challenge group together. As our teams grow and our businesses grow, we're not going to be able to do as much together. It's not going to make sense. Our challenge groups are going to get so big. But there are certain things that we'll continue to do together. And again, we can continue to bounce ideas off of each other. And she can say like, whoa, step back, remember what happened in 100 No's, or step back, remember what happened when we did this, and vice versa. So go ahead.
Very good. The one question that I think I skipped was, how do you keep each other accountable with fitness and the business? This is a great question. And we do with both. So we set goals at the beginning of the month together, and that's something you want to do with your accountability partner, is set goals. They don't necessarily need to be the same goals for Dawn and I. Some of them are, just because, we share a brain. But then we'll check in. We have a religious Monday meeting where we are going to meet no matter what. So I said we'll talk throughout the week, but we meet one time a week no matter what, and we set goals, we check in on goals. And that's one of the things we do when we keep each other accountable. Hey, where are you? Did you follow up with that person? Are you at Success Club? Did you sign that coach? Did you check in on this coach? Dawn's using Teamsy right now. And so that team, she'll go through Teamsy and do what it tells her to do. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's just a Beachbody program that helps you do your vital behaviors with following up and stuff. And she'll say, hey, it told me to chat with 5 people today. Go do that. And that's what we'll do. So we'll keep each other honest. But in fitness too, did you work out today? How did you like it? Stay away from the cookies. So it is. We kind of try to keep each other accountable in all areas, because as a coach, we need to be on it in all areas. It just makes us better anyways, right? It's better. So that was a good question, I thought.
One of the things that we did not include on that freemium page, but we'll definitely include the link. We are working through, and we're almost done with the book. It's called Living Your Best Year Ever, and it's by Darren Hardy. It's like a workbook with DVDs that I somehow got access to in a training I was in, and I don't know that I'm allowed to share it, but I can share you the Amazon link, and I want to say it's about $50 for the book and the DVDs. But this has been like so game changing for us. It's goal setting, but it takes it and it breaks it down for you, and it makes you really figure out what your goals are, and really to come up with 3 banner goals. And Christine and I, our goals are actually the same, but some of our steps and some of the things to achieve them are different. And we actually have ours fell in our big banner goals. Only one specifically was Beachbody related. We had one that was more spiritual, family related, and then another one that kind of tied everything together. It was a leadership related one. And like Christine said, we meet like religiously. It's on the calendar. We will sit down and hammer through a bunch of stuff. And right now, that's like one of the first things is like, okay, where are we on our goals? What do they look like? And having somebody to be able to push you and say, okay, you probably want to make that number higher, or to kind of help you break them down, because it's really easy to say, I want to be a better leader. Like that's one of our banner goals. We want to be better leaders. Okay, well, how do we do that? What does that look like? This book takes you step by step to figuring it out. Like, who do you need to talk to? Do you need to take a training? Anything that you could think of, it kind of breaks it down into smaller steps for you. And then lays it out. And it's like, okay, well now that we wrote it down, we have to do it. Which is kind of not so fun sometimes. But we totally check in, and we're both a little bit competitive. Not necessarily competitive with each other, which is kind of funny, but a little bit, because I'll send Christine a message. I don't know if anybody's doing 22 hardcore, but we're both doing it. We started on the same day. So I get to do each workout before her because I'm on the East Coast and I get up at crazy times in the morning. So I'll message her and I'll be like, dude, Don't grab those 15s that you're going to grab. You're going to grab them. You're going to be ambitious. You're going to die. And then she takes that as a threat, or not a threat, a challenge. And then I know that she did it because she's like, I can't talk right now. I can't type. Like, so it's good, but it's also good because I think it's also helped Christine. She teaches a lot of classes, and it's been a long time since she's done a program from start to finish. And I think that having a success partner that's not just focusing on it is focusing on business. One of our vital behaviors is be a product of the product. Even though she's teaching insanity and size and all the stuff within Beachbody, it's that, where are you in your program? What are you doing? What does that look like? So that's helpful too.
Very good. And one of the questions that isn't on here, but I remember now that we were talking about personal development, is one of you had asked if we do the same personal development. Yeah, you kind of covered it. So yes and no. So we are doing the Living Your Best Year together, yes. But then I'm also reading Slight Edge and doing some different podcasts, and Dawn is reading something else. And then we can meet and kind of discuss those. So, I mean, one of the biggest things that we do, one of the vital behaviors, is personal development. So you should be doing quite a bit of it, not just one. You should be doing a few different things. And so that will be the same. Like this is a project book. So yeah, we're doing it together. But there are other ones that we're doing separate. So it's good to kind of find one that you both can develop from. And then if you both each have a separate focus area that you need to develop, like if you're struggling with inviting or they're struggling with whatever, you can focus on that. They're struggling with closing, and then you can kind of bring it in and separate it out that way. So yes and no.
And it's super helpful because like there will be an area that I'm struggling with or whatever, and then Christine will send me the perfect book recommendation that I then hate her for. And then I'll call her and I'm like, darn you and your book. Like, why are you making me learn and grow? And I don't want to learn and grow. I want to stay in my ways, you know? And then she's we're talking about consistency. That's something that I am super strong at. Like, I'm very consistent. And Christine is way more consistent now because it's something that I'm like, no, we need to get more consistent. And so it's kind of like that extra reminder. But so the Slight Edge was a huge book in my world for that. So I made sure that I sent that her way. So you don't always want to be reading the same stuff all the time. You want to be able to, share and pass stuff back and forth, because also the areas that you're going to need more growth in is going to be different than your success partner. So it's nice to be able to bounce back and forth. What were any big ones that we were missing?
I think we nailed through them. So if we want to open it up now, if you guys have any questions, burning questions that you just.
Or you just want to talk.
Or you just want to chat. Because it's like lunchtime and you just want to chat. It's cool.
Nothing?
No,
come on. I know we didn't answer everything that well. Come on, Michelle. I see you. No, not.
No one? They're all staying muted.
Name? Well, I'm trying to figure out how to unmute it. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
And I don't know why it says Dan, because I wrote my name in, so I'll figure that out later. Hi. I've got this person.
Hi. Hello.
We're multitasking, as we all are, right? No, that was great. I mean, I took my note in my Shaun T book. I love this book. I got it years ago, and it has all my Super Saturday notes. So, like, every Super Saturday for, like, 2 years, 3 years, all the, like, little notes I take, bullet points are in here. So it's like my little, like, my own personal development reference guide. But, no, this was awesome because, I'm Dawn's coach, but Dawn's awesome. Dawn's, like, up here. And it's funny because I was texting her sister.
Can you please get that other coach under your husband?
I'm working on a whole new one under him now who's closer. But
I'm going to be star qualifying.
I know. But I'm texting your sister saying, this is so weird because now I'm listening to a call led by your sister. And I used to work with you. I'm like, anyway. No, it's great because this was perfect timing because I was looking for a new success partner and trying to figure out, like, how do I pick the right one? In the past, I've only had success partners because whatever group training I was in at the time said, find somebody in this group, and you would just randomly post, okay, you're doing this group, who wants to be a success partner? And then again, you didn't know anything about them. You didn't know if you had anything in common, if you had the same goals, what their strengths were, what their weaknesses were, so you guys could work together. So I took a lot of notes, and I do have some people in mind that I think will work just based on, like, our personalities and how I think we'll work together. And so this was very insightful for me. And I hope that I get the right success partner now.
Now, some of you guys, a lot of you take the different trainings with like Jim Rumps and Curtis. And again, they always make you find a partner in there. And so I always like whoever's next on the list that says, I need a partner. I'm like, okay, we'll be partners for this training. And you might find, I mean, it's possible when you're working with that person. But also, again, every group that you're in, just kind of be looking for the people that are doing things that you're doing and asking the questions. Hi, Case. But yeah, because then you'll slowly find people. Like, don't feel like you're stuck and committed to those people in those groups. I did try. I had somebody reach out in a group that said, I am ready to work my business. I need a success partner. And I had just finished reading a book that said you should have a success partner and you should be part of a mastermind. And so I was like, hey, let's try this. And we did, and we met on the phone, and it wasn't bad, and she's great. But her schedule was funky at a time that I was ready to go. And so we just naturally fell away, and it wasn't anything too odd. One of the things that we didn't talk about was, and I believe we list it in your freemium, do a trial period. Like if you find somebody that you think is a good fit and they're looking too, set a trial period like with them. Be open and honest, because if they're looking also, they want something that's going to work, and say, hey, and set a time, like maybe it's a month, maybe it's 2 months, but say, hey, let's do this for a month. Let's see how it works. And it'll be like a no hard feelings if this doesn't work out. Like if one of you is not feeling it, it's not going to be beneficial for either. So if you set those parameters up to begin with, it'll make the breakup, that potential breakup, a little bit easier. And it's something that, of course, like as we're going through this, Christine and I are like, you can never break up with me. You're just not allowed. Like you're stuck with me forever. Even if you ever leave Beachbody, you're stuck. I now know where you live. Just saying. Were there other questions? Anybody? Clearly we didn't answer everything. It's okay if we did. I don't want to keep you guys all day.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else.
I feel like we got it all, and you got the one thing we did forget is that, yeah, there should be no hard feelings. We're all adults and it's business. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's okay.
One other thing. Yeah. And we do discuss in the freemium, but it is business, but I do think it's so important that you guys do have similar beliefs and core values and similar type visions, because those things they're gonna flow into your business, and some of your beliefs and your visions, they can mesh. And just a quick example, Christine and I are doing the spiritual fitness group, and it's a really big deal to us. And we've made that like it's sacred. Like that group will never ever be lead generating. It will never ever be for customer conversion. Like it is totally separate from like our Beachbody world, even though we're using Beachbody principles. And when we talk about that group, and I love Andy and Eureka, and they are both like, so you could totally run ads to that group, and you can totally you can convert some of those. And we're like, no, that group is sacred. And that's something that like is just a core belief of ours. Not that we couldn't do that, and not that it wouldn't benefit the people in the group to become customers, but that is not the intent. Like we only collect email for the purposes of making sure they get added to the group properly. But that's just a strong belief that we both have with that particular group. So it's important that you have the same core beliefs on certain things so that you're not clashing heads, because your beliefs are going to flow into your business and how you operate and how you do business. And there is nothing wrong with using a group like that to ultimately convert customers. Like there is nothing wrong with that. And it would be very smart. But what's nice about having a success partner with the same belief is it's something that we decided and that we had prayed about a lot and that we talked about. And when my brain starts spinning at the possibilities of the things that can happen in that group, my success partner is there to rein me back in, saying, wait, remember what you believe about this. Like, don't get too tempted, and stray from your belief, because it's what we share. Anyway, that was my cheesy example, but I hope that makes sense.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, one of my questions is, how do you find somebody? Like, where do you find somebody? But my other question is, I feel like I have a really good handle on what I need from a success partner, but I feel like going out there and saying, okay, this is what I need. I need you to do this for me. Who wants that? Who wants to take on that task? What I feel like I don't have a good handle on is what I have to offer, you know, because what I can focus on and what I focus on all the time are the things that I struggle with. So if you had to come up with a, you know, I'm an SWF or what, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I want to put out there, this is what I can offer you and this is what I need from somebody, and try to find a match that way. That's just my struggle with figuring out where my strengths are.
I think as you're in different groups and you're seeing what people are doing, and you're seeing people that you're like, I think I could work with that person really well. I think that you just message them, and that you don't put out like, hey, you know, I don't know if you're looking for a success partner. I would love to talk to you more about the kinds of things that you're looking to do in your business, you know, if you're looking for one. And just set it up as just a conversation. Like you're interviewing each other. Just say, hey, these are the kinds of things that I'm looking for. Like, what might you be looking for? And as they tell you what they're looking for, if they're like, you know, I'm looking for somebody that's willing to like text me every morning, you know, if you know you're not going to do that, then, I mean, you got your answers right there. But finding out what they're looking for is going to really help you figure out some of what you have to offer. Like Christine and I are terrible when it comes to like these calls that we do for New Wave. We're like, we've got nothing to offer. Like when we do that, we always think we have nothing to offer until we start digging a little bit deeper, and we're like, oh no, we totally can do this. And that's the same thing when you start to talk to somebody. You'll also know if they're bringing it out of you, they might be the right match. If they're getting you to figure out the areas and qualities that you're good at, like, I think that's one of the things that's so awesome about being able to work with Christine is she doesn't just push me, but like she draws out the qualities that are like, I didn't realize I had that were good. And then I can make those even better.
But the only way we were able to discover that was by running those groups together. So find, you know, go connect with someone, find someone you connect with, and then invite them to do a 5-day clean eating or a 7-day whatever challenge with them so that you can see if you can work together and if you jive. I mean, that's just the best first step is that project, I think. That we wouldn't be partners. I don't know if we would have discovered this had we not had the opportunity to do those projects together.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Say yes. My answer is always just like, say yes. Anytime you have an opportunity to do something, even if it feels crazy or it might be a little risky, like, you know, like within Beachbody and helping others and doing these projects, say yes. Get out there and just try it, because that's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to meet new people. And that's how you're going to find those people that help grow you. Hi, I see you with your tongue. It's very cute. Nice faces. Anybody else? Oh, yes. Dawn gave me mine, the Kayla ring, because I always take mine off and it looks like I'm not married when I'm working out. So now I can be married to Levi when I'm working out. I'm sure he appreciates that. Pretty cool. Cool stuff.
I was totally muted. I said, she's married to Levi. Not
yeah,
me.
no, I didn't mean it like that.
No,
that's why I specified.
You said that.
You guys are awesome. So there's a freemium kind of a checklist that we're giving you. Dawn has the link for that. Thank you guys for showing up. This is the kind of thing, if you want to grow and develop as a coach and as a person, just do this. Show up to these things and it will come. I promise you, it will come.
We will put the link. It'll take a little bit of time. Christine now has fast internet, so she's going to upload this. Because if I had to upload this, it would be tomorrow before it went through. But we're going to upload it. We'll pop it into that page, and we'll post it in this event, but we'll also share it in the New Wave community. So if it was useful, if it was beneficial, share it with others. If not, that's cool too, because we won't ever know because we're not collecting emails from it. But yeah, we'll give you like a 1, 2, 3 if anybody else has any last questions. Otherwise, we're going to kick you out. Going once, twice. All right, everybody get back to work.